I once went out on a date with a vegan girl. She was hot, that's why I did it. And I wanted it to work, I really did. But she was a vegan, you see? And I'm a man. And I couldn't risk my offspring turning out like them.
Hi, my name's Jasper. I use they pronouns.
Hi, my name is Leona. I use they demon pronouns.
It was fun to pretend in private that I gave a shit about whatever the fuck she was into, but I had to be honest with myself. I was sad, less, and wasn't me. I'm sharing all this because it perfectly sums up how it felt watching the Tyson vs Paul fight on Netflix. Ashamed I even participated in it just by viewing it. And if you're one of the unfortunate 65 million people that tuned in, as I have, you know what I'm talking about. I've said it before and I'll say it again. We are a society in a cultural decay. And 57-year-old Mike Tyson versus 27-year-old Jake Paul may just be the pinnacle of our digress. Nothing is more sad, more telling about the state of our culture and society today than this. The event better categorized as live streaming elder abuse, rivaling only the White House's Biden administration. This event is a perfect reflection of our pursuit for entertainment at the cost of our dignity, honor, and respect. We disguise it as sport and think it's okay since money is involved. But ask yourself this, when is it okay for a 27-year-old to beat up a 57-year-old? How about when it's done for entertainment? Will you be okay with it when you learn that the senior was paid for it? Surely that makes it okay. The bottom line is, any way you spin it, it comes back as wrong. Just because it's Mike Tyson, we think it's okay. But it's not 20-year-old Dynamite Kid world champion Mike Tyson. This is Tyson past his prime. And even though it was great seeing him walking out with gloves, and it felt exciting, reminiscing of the glory days, when the fight started, that excitement quickly dissipated and sadness took its place. The fight was handicapped to 2-minute rounds instead of the traditional 3 minutes, 8 rounds instead of 10 or 12. And with all this at play, I found myself thinking, why? Why is this fight happening? Why Jake Paul? Who wins in all this? 'Cause it's certainly not us. And it's certainly not the fighters. Jake Paul ended up the winner, and good for you, Jake. You get to go on telling the world you beat Mike Tyson in a boxing match. May you drown in all the clout and validation in the world. It still won't fill the void in your empty, soulless heart. This ain't a win for Netflix either. The stream kept crashing and glitching, buffering to the point nor Michael or Bruce could save it. Get it? Michael, Bruce, buffer. Tyson lost, but even more so his legacy. Now less for having done this. Not for not getting the win. It's less for what this event was, rather than what it was intended to be. Parading Iron Mike Tyson around for the sake of platforming personalities, products, and brands in the background. Don't get me wrong, I understand the need for such things, and the contribution that it provides in funding such events. But there's a time and place for everything, but 2024 is not the time nor the place to be parading around Iron Mike Tyson's legacy for the sake of promoting whatever bullshit product Jake Paul has up his sleeve. There's a difference between helping someone because they need it and helping someone because you want to be seen. And this event was the latter, having been pushed far beyond the point of being distasteful. Having no respect for the wonderful thing that Tyson's legacy is. It's the equivalent of using family photos as toilet paper. Yes, you need your ass clean and your brand seen, but come on, man. Just because you can make $1 off something doesn't mean you should. Still don't believe me? Well then just ask yourself if Star Wars was better off before Disney or after. Yeah. What Disney did there, the promoters of this fight did here. The lack of a modern-day cultural icon on par with boxing legend Mike Tyson only goes to show how incredible Tyson's accomplishments are. His journey should be talked about, his fights revisited, and life discussed. Instead, someone thought it a good idea to parade him around the world for a promotional tour and throw him into the ring with this guy of all people. Guy who looks like he's a proud member of the Amish Suicide Squad. Hey man, I'm Jebediah. I built this here coffin with my bare hands, and now I'm gonna put your fucking ass into it. In order to better understand who this guy is, we need to digress to Captain Kirk. This will all make sense here in a second, just bear with me. In the Star Trek series, Captain Kirk is notoriously famous for being the only person to ever pass the Kobayashi Maru, a test created as a no-win stress simulator designed to see how captains in training would do under stress. Kirk broke in the night before and reprogrammed the simulator so that he would win. When confronted for cheating, he simply responded with the now iconic phrase, "I don't believe in no-win scenarios." That's pretty cool, and more or less that's what Jake Paul is attempting to do with his boxing career. Instead of gaining notoriety and rising through the ranks the traditional way, he's boxing established names from other combat sports and using his win over them as a stepping stone for his career. Ben Askren, an Olympic wrestler, mixed martial artist, Tyrone Woodley, another MMA guy, Anderson Silva, Diaz, Perry, all guys whose traditional expertise is not in boxing. All these guys are past their prime. Tyson is a boxer, but he was in his prime before Jake was even born. And when it comes to traditional boxers, Paul only fought two, Ryan Borland and Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury won. So in regards to his record fighting actual boxers, DC Jebediah is 1-1. Where Captain Kirk and Paul differ in regards to their non-traditional approach is Kirk proving a point of not believing in no-win scenarios is a testament of his out-of-the-box thinking, inadvertently proving that he is a worthy candidate to be a captain. With Paul, art does not imitate life here. His non-traditional approach isn't in the pursuit of being a great boxer, but rather rooted in progressing notoriety via stepping on established names. These other fighters are willing to do it for money, then hey, more power to ya, I guess. But make no mistake, his rise in boxing is dishonest at best, which is a damn shame because the guy is talented, he is athletic. There's still something to him. To amass an audience at the numbers that he has does take skill. Trust me, I know all about it. At the making of this video, I have a total of 9 subscribers. I mean, if you don't toot your own horn, who will? When considering what it takes to become a worthy champion or a respected fighter, things like the persistent dedication to discipline, perseverance, skill, sacrifice, chasing the dream without no real guarantee of success. That's what makes these fighters legends. That's what makes Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Joe Louis household names. If we start replacing these names, these legends, with the names of YouTubers who just beat the shit out of our elders, we might be losing something more than just our dignity. When I think about Muhammad Ali, I don't just think about his boxing career. I think about his stance against the Vietnam War and his persistence in standing up for what he believed in. Joe Louis fighting German boxer Max Schmeling just before World War II kicked off with Adolf Hitler watching. Mike Tyson getting ripped on and getting his bike stolen in the ghetto he was growing up in. All these factors leading him to go to the gym and work out and become Iron Mike Tyson. Captivating the world with his abilities to mow through anyone getting in his way. I remember going to watch Tyson vs Holyfield 2 with my dad, uncles, and all their friends. Out of everyone in the room, I probably spoke the most amount of English, and I was just shy of 7. These Russian immigrants who have probably never seen a black person until they came to America were rooting for Tyson as if he was their friend. That's the beauty of sport. That's the beauty of boxing. It transcends culture, language, skin color, race, creed. In that moment, we are all united and rooting for our guy. And if he is defeated, though bittersweet, we understand the amount of effort, training, skill, perseverance, and discipline it would take to defeat our champion, our guy. And we respect it. That's why if someone wins and becomes a champion through a cheap mean, we, the audience, hate it, reject it, are disgusted by it. I'm looking at you, Aljamain Sterling. Go fuck yourself. Peter Yan won that fight. You know it. Onward. That's why we need to preserve the sanctity of boxing and sport. It is a kinetic representation of principles and values we need to achieve greatness in our own lives, as individuals, collectively, as a society, and serves as a celebratory bridge for other cultures and countries. When the Irish go crazy because Conor McGregor won, good for them. I rejoice with them. I have almost nothing in common except for this moment. It's their guy, but I'm rooting for him as well. And so together, we're united in that moment, if just this once. Once I learned the story of Francis Ngannou's grueling escape from Africa to Europe in search of a better life, I could not help myself but cheer for him. He became my guy. I celebrated his victories, his accomplishments, and when tragedy fell upon his family, I mourned. I never met Francis, McGregor, or Tyson, but their accomplishments in the ring, I understand that and I celebrate it. And it's this celebration that I have in common with the people of Cameroon, Africa, celebrating Francis. Ireland, going crazy for McGregor. Every ghetto in America that resembles Mike's upbringing. That's why it's important for us to completely reject whatever this shit is. Keep this from going mainstream. You don't become a household name by pulling guys outside their practice, beyond their prime, beating them in your field, and parading yourself around as a success. Who's your next opponent, Paul? 1990s world champion of chess, Garry Kasparov? Fuck off. There's only two things everyone seems to agree on after this fight. It's that it should have never happened, and we're all less for it.